Welcome everybody to another Boldcast reaction. I'm Carson.
I'm Lindsay.
And this is Tower of God episode 4. Last episode, holy shit, maybe it's Rachel, maybe it isn't. He saw, let's see if it's actually her. Ready for a little death match, battle or King of the Hill type game, but we're gonna see what that's all about. We're really excited to get in this episode. Make sure you like this video, make sure you check out our other reactions. We got Kaguya, we got Gleipnir, we got the rest of the Tower of God series, and we got Naruto. Go check out all that stuff and more stuff to come in the future. But yeah, we're just gonna get into Tower of God episode 4, The Green April. I think we're going to see a little bit more of that lizard girl, which is pretty cool, because she seems pretty cool. Well, damn, that was a crazy episode. This show is getting better with every episode.
I agree, yeah.
With the first episode was a little rocky with, big ideas, not much real story going on, but a lot of plot and a lot of background stuff, a lot of setup. Every episode's been set up. But with each one, we get introduced to a little bit more of what's actually going on and a little bit more of... It's grounding itself a little bit more. So, and I'm glad they introduced this random game.
Yeah, it's nice to, get to know the other characters a bit more. And it's nice to have, one thing be taking longer than a single episode.
Yeah.
Thus far, it's kind of every episode has almost, wrapped itself up.
Mm-hmm. And
or,
usually...
wraps itself up at the very beginning of the next episode. It's just been very short little pieces of story that are very contained. It's phase 1, phase 2, but now that it's this bonus game, we're getting the same battle over several episodes.
And usually that's a bad thing in shonen. Usually it's it's a big meme that shonen takes multiple episodes to do a single fight. Like in Naruto, when they have one attack per episode, sometimes not even that. Sometimes it's barely
talking.
A punch. Yeah, and then it's just talking the whole time. And then the next episode is just explaining everything. In Dragon Ball Z, the fight with Frieza, it's the planet will explode. You haven't seen it, but the planet will explode in 5 minutes. And then literally 19 episodes later, the planet explodes or something. But in this, yeah, so that's kind of a meme that is, and usually when a shonen takes more than one episode to do something, it's a bad thing. But because the show, and it's kind of a theme this season in general from the shows we've watched, they just move it at a blistering pace, and every episode needs to move so fast and cover so much, and then but to slow it down at least somewhat, and for it to take a decent amount of time to establish the stakes of this one battle. And I'm sorry, I did forget a lot. It's been a long week and trying to keep the channel up and running and everything, and so I did forget a lot of what was going on, but the core of what was happening was really interesting.
Yeah, I found I agree with this season, other than obviously Kaguya, which is kind of a different thing, but for this and also Gleipnir, the most recent episode, this episode and then episode 3 of Gleipnir, really slowed it down.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess, I don't know, not slowed it down, but took the story in more of a different direction and let us see more of the characters.
In the case of Gleipnir, I don't think it worked as well. I think that Gleipnir really wasted an episode.
I kind of
in
agree.
general, they moved the plot forward, but a lot of it was just kind of bullshit, and it was recap essentially. And this one, they slowed it down in a really meaningful way, and I don't know, they introduced us to a lot more of the powers and everything and the weapons, and sort of built that up a little bit more. We got a little more insight into what the princesses are. Not a whole lot. It's still a mystery, but I don't really understand how it works or why it's significant to the world or their society or how that applies. But we did get a little bit more. Again, with shonen, it's kind of I don't know. A lot of people watch shonen for just the fights, and I can see why people would like the show just for the fights or the series just for the fights. But to me, personally, and I think you share this opinion as well, fights don't really mean anything if there's nothing behind it. Up to this point, it's been all, we gotta climb the tower, so look at these people trying to climb the tower, and here are all these challenges, and here's all the stuff going on. But there wasn't or hasn't been that sort of personal connection to why do we care about these people fighting each other? Why do we care about... other than the goal that they're trying to reach, but what does that even mean for them? We don't actually know who they are. But we're starting to get there, and the fact that Rachel is there adds an extra level of tension to
the fact that
why...
Rachel's such a bitch.
Well,
but we
don't know what's going to happen. We don't know what's going to happen.
But she just told her, murderous friends that it was okay to kill everyone.
Yeah. After we just saw a flashback of her telling Bomb or Yoru to not betray anyone, especially girls. Double standard bullshit. Well, but we'll see how it works out. We don't actually know what she's gonna do, but I have a feeling she is going to fuck shit up and not care about her prior relationship. I
also feel like our main team is not gonna win this game.
Yeah, with the bet.
The bet, they didn't take the bet.
Are you sure they didn't take the bet? I think they took the bet. One second.
I thought that they didn't take the bet.
I think they took the bet.
Okay, maybe they did. I don't know. I thought that they didn't, but maybe I'm just dumb.
You think I'd make a bet like that? Because once this game ends, I tend to kill you, take the Black March away. Yeah, so she basically said, take this bet or I'll just fucking take the sword, so fuck you. So I think essentially they are taking the bet. Whether or not she'll actually give up the sword, I don't think she sees a scenario where she loses this bet. So I think maybe if they do win, she'll be like, nah, fuck that, and they'll just be like, you know what, fine, we don't need your fucking sword, keep it. Or there'll be some tie with Rachel, or they'll lose. But he's not losing the Black March. I don't see him losing the Black March.
I thought that they didn't take... I don't know.
I don't see him losing it, but I don't see her losing hers, possibly.
But if you didn't take the bet, and then she just doesn't kill him after, that solves both the problems.
I think they took the bet. There's nothing... They didn't say anything about not taking the bet. They said... they said... She said, I'll kill you if you don't take the bet. So then they're just like, this is bullshit. And then she's like, whatever. And then the guy's like, the crown game resumes. And then they walk away. So I think the bet is on. I think that regardless, there's going to be some shit going on with that. Anyway.
We found out that people can use... Shinsu. We found out that people can use Shinsu who haven't, done this before, which I guess wasn't really a thing.
I assumed that there were people... This is, the power system of this world. Just because you aren't a master of the tower doesn't mean you can't use this.
I guess, but it was just...
There's all types of people. Everyone is different.
It was just weird when, everyone was, walking through. I guess the people who could use it could get through, but it seemed...
I don't think that's what it was. I think that...
I don't know.
People who could use it... we've only seen that guy use it. Everyone else... there's that one chick who has a wand, but that's not technically her power. I don't think it has... I think it's... And again, the comments said that it has something to do with your resistance to it, or being he was talking. The guy was talking about luck, and if you're lucky, then you're born with a resistance to this pressure. So they were able to walk through. Yeah, that's all it is. It's not being able to use it. It's just having an affinity for it, or some sort of resistance to the power necessarily.
I thought it was you could build up resistance by acclimating yourself. I was just making note of the fact that the guy who's all wrapped up in the blankets uses it and was able to walk through that wall super easily.
Well, a bunch of them were, and we haven't seen them use it anyway, so I don't know. We'll see how that turns out, but it feels like there was a lot more to talk about this episode. A lot of the character designs are really cool. Oh, the animation. So the character designs are very simple, and because the colors are all solid and there's not a lot of depth and bevel sort of to their bodies and everything, there's not a shiny part where the light is hitting and a shadow on a muscle striation or anything like that. It's just very flat, and then there's some lines on their clothes, and there's not a lot of shadows to animate, so they don't have to pay as much attention to that when they're animating, so they can move, everything can move a lot faster and a lot smoother.
They really do the backgrounds up though, everything's really shiny and complicated and bright colors in the background, and then everyone in front is just very simple. Yeah,
and it looks like a lot of the backgrounds are CG as well, which helps because then you just have to build the room and then and because you're using similar color palettes and a similar sense of style, there's some gradients there and some shadow and some depth, but it's a lot of the same bright, solid, flat colors that are used in the character design. So there's not it's really easy for them to switch. In a lot of shows you see, okay, now they're in talking mode where it's a freeze frame and then their mouth is just moving, and then okay, now it's action mode where shit's moving really fast and it's really flowy and it's a lot of sakuga. But in this one they can transition between the different types of scenes really easily because of their character designs and their really simple style. It works really effectively for this type of story. So that was a really cool thing that I noticed. I guess I think that's all I had to say. I guess so obviously I forgot a lot of stuff in this episode, and it's still kind of confusing, and we're still getting used to it, but I'm liking the show more and more with each episode, and I think I'll like the next one even more, personally. I don't know about you, but...
Yeah, it seems like now that there's stuff actually at stake, rather than just people we don't care about dying.
Yeah.
Because, like, in that first thing, when there was, like, that montage of, like, 3 people in a row, like, killing each other and dying.
Yeah.
And that it's just kind of funny at that point, because you don't care. But, like, now, even if Tracksuit Boy died, you'd be like, oh, that's kind of shitty. He was kind of a funny character, you know? It's not super deep yet, but it's you're getting more attached to the characters.
Yeah, at least we're acclimated somewhat with what's going on, or the people that are in it. We have something to attach ourselves to.
You can kind of tell, like, who's, like, the main couple teams at this point. You know, it's just really, really nice to get a bit more familiar with people.
Yeah, and I don't know. I don't have much more to say than that. It's really interesting. I like that some of the characters seem multifaceted, like Anaak, who is the lizard girl. She sort of changed. She seems kind of subdued and just kind of strong silent type, but then she got serious when she saw the Black March and everything like that. I don't know. We're seeing some interesting movement in that way, and yeah, we are a little bit more acclimated, and it's not just a bunch of drawings on a screen. It's you can see that there's some characters and some dynamics being established and formed here. Really interesting. Really excited to see the next episodes. That's all I have to say. Same with you. Alrighty. Thank you guys for watching. Check out our other Tower of God reactions. We also got Gleipnir. We got Kaguya-sama. Those videos have been doing really well. We're also posting Naruto pretty much every day that we're not posting one of our seasonal shows. We're gonna try and double post so that we can get through Naruto a little bit more quickly, but we'll see. Right now, we're just trying to keep things chill and be consistent with uploading these videos. So, hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe. We're climbing subscribers really fast. We've been loving the support that you guys have been giving us. It's awesome. It's really cool to see. Yeah, we're loving it. This is a lot of fun. We're having a lot of fun with this channel and watching these shows and talking to you guys and everything. Really cool. Hope you guys enjoyed. We're going to move on to editing this and putting it up. But yeah, see you guys in the next video. See you guys in the next Tower of God episode. See you later.